Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a SLG collection and review video. I haven't really done a video where I've shown all my SLGs in one go, and I've also been buying quite a few new ones recently. So I thought I would do a collection video but also do mini reviews along the way. I have had quite a few questions about specific SLGs. I don't really want to get into the habit of doing, whole videos for a specific SLG just because, they are quite small items and I do think that limits what I can say about them. But that said, I did want to give you guys an overview. So hopefully this video will provide that. As a side note, for those of you who don't know, SLG stands for small leather good. I have had a couple of questions about that and I always feel so silly because I assume that everyone knows what it means, but obviously it's quite a niche term, so clearly not everyone does. So it is small leather good. That's kind of an umbrella term because it does encompass a lot of the Louis Vuitton pieces, which are quite often mostly canvas, so it is a bit of an umbrella term, but usually it does refer to kind of pouches and wallets and that sort of thing. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and find it useful, and I'm going to get stuck right in with the first piece. So the first piece is this Chanel card holder, and this one was £210. I got this from Heathrow, and I don't know whether that was the Heathrow price or the kind of normal boutique price, but I will try and list all the prices and information that I can down in the description bar below. So this I bought at the beginning of the year around February time, and it's pretty simple, plain on the back, and it just opens up with a little button closure. And it has one slot there and then it opens up like so. So I use this for rewards cards. I tend to only use this in tandem with my second Chanel piece, which is this card holder. I won't really use this in combination with a bigger wallet just because I don't generally need the reward card overspill. So generally speaking, only with this, but I really like this all the same. I was put off from Chanel SLGs for a really long time. I had quite a bad experience with a lambskin wallet, which I have kind of talked about before on this channel. But then I decided to kind of take the plunge with this one just because it was such a small piece. I really liked the look of it, and I figured it wasn't the biggest investment if things did go badly. But I've actually been really impressed with it. Yes, I have kind of taken care of it. I haven't bashed it about. I have been very mindful of the fact that it is lambskin. But at the same time, I haven't been completely freaking out over it. I haven't been totally babying it, and it's really worked out pretty well. I can't see any wear on it at all. I've used this consecutively for about 4 to 6 weeks, I would say. So considering, so far so good. Obviously that could change in the future, but so far I'm really impressed with it. And in combination with this one, I really like the duo. So as for this piece, I believe this is called the New Style card holder, and I think it retails for £240, so a little bit more expensive than this piece. And this just opens up like a book or a passport holder, like so. There is no clasp, which I know does bother some people, and then you just have a card slot there as well. So in terms of my personal usage, I put my 2 most used credit cards there, which makes really easy access. I love how just quick and easy it is to get my cards out. Here I use, I put my business cards in there, and then here I just put a debit card and a lesser used credit card. I don't tend to use these 2 slots here, but you absolutely could if you needed the extra room. So I find this very functional for just, an everyday card holder. If you don't carry a lot of cash or rewards cards or anything like that, then you could absolutely get away with this. I think it's a great piece. As I mentioned, I like to use them both in combination, but you don't have to. You can kind of mix and match, I guess. I think it's really great as a standalone piece as well. Obviously it doesn't completely close, and so I know that does bother some people. It just kind of sits like that. For me, it's not an issue. It just doesn't bother me, but I think it's a personal preference thing, so that is something that you'd have to judge. But for me, I think the functionality is just great. I like the fact that it's caviar, so it is more durable. As I said, I do probably prefer this one a little bit, but I mean, honestly, there's not much in it, and I do really like the combination together. So if you're in the market for a card holder, then I would check out Chanel's line, because I think they do some really nice pieces, and the lambskin is more durable than a lot of people think, but if you're fussy about wear and tear, then check out the caviar, which is pretty much indestructible. On to other brands now. The next piece I'm going to show you is from Mulberry. I did get this for Christmas from my brother and his fiance. It's my only Mulberry SLG, and now actually my only Mulberry piece, and I just love this. I think it's so beautiful. It's this beautiful pop of red colour with the lovely little gold mulberry tree detail right there. It does have card slots in the back, and then it just opens up like so, and it stretches out quite wide. So this is a very similar design to the Louis Vuitton clay in the vernis leather, which is the patent leather, and I did actually end up selling mine just because I didn't find it very useful. What I like about this is that it could fit a lot more. So because the vernet leather was quite stiff, it really did limit what you could fit in it, whereas this has quite nice soft leather, so it is pebbled, but it stretches out a lot more, so you can fit a lot more in there. So I really find this useful for, again, extra rewards cards or headphones or anything like that. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't get a ton of use just because I'm quite frequently too lazy to actually use pouches, but when I do, I always do really enjoy it. I do find this kind of back pocket quite useful because, again, you can fit quite a bit in there, so it's nice and generously sized, but at the same time it doesn't take up a whole ton of room. And I think this is pretty much the same size as the Louis Vuitton one, perhaps a little bit bigger, but I really like it, and the leather is really nice and durable as well, so I don't have to worry about it. Just a really pretty piece, and you just have little details like the little Mulberry stamp on the pull there, so really lovely. So if you haven't checked out Mulberry SLGs, then I would recommend it because I've really been impressed with this one. On to Valentino next, and the only piece I have is this, I guess, pouch. I'm not really sure whether this counts as a clutch and a handbag, but I think it's technically a pouch, which is why I'm including it in my SLG collection. And it's just this kind of plain blue rectangle, I guess. It has this lovely pebbled leather with these studs all the way around, so the famous studs. It has these round studs on the back and then the Valentino sign right there. It does open up with a zipper, but I will say that the zip pull is quite stiff, so it's not a super easy one to get in and out of. You do really have to pull, which I'm not a huge fan of. If you're used to Louis Vuitton, I know their zips are always really smooth, and that isn't the case with this one. So I feel like it might loosen up over time. I haven't used this a whole ton, so maybe that's the reason, but at the moment it is quite stiff, which doesn't make it the easiest to get in and out of. But once you finally are in, it kind of opens up to look like so. So I'm not sure whether this is suede or microfiber. I always kind of struggle to tell the difference, if I'm honest with you, but it is in this lovely kind of complementary blue colour, so I do like it. I will say that it probably looks best flat, so you can fill it with things, and I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it does kind of pad out and look a bit bulky, weird. You kind of can see the outline, so I don't think this is the most ingenious design for a clutch, and for me as a pouch, like, I would never use this inside of a handbag because it's just too big. I mean, if you want to compare this kind of the mini pochette, like, look at the size difference, it's massive. So I wouldn't use this personally in a tote bag or anything, which pretty much only limits it to a clutch for me. So I have mixed feelings on it. I do wish it had a longer strap as well to use as a wristlet. I know they do have versions which do, but I think they're bigger and are quite a bit more expensive. So yeah, again, not 100% sure on it. I haven't really used it much. I'm hoping I will use it more in the summer months. So yeah, I like the design, but in terms of functionality, this doesn't score particularly highly for me. So the next two pieces I'm going to discuss are both travel card holders, and they're both pink because that's my favourite colour. I didn't know whether these really counted as SLGs, but I figured they kind of are, so I thought I'd include them. And this is the one that I was using for a really long time before I got this one for Christmas. And it's from Smythson, which is a British, it's mostly stationery if I'm honest, but they have expanded out into leather goods. They do beautiful leather, it's really high quality, it is very expensive. I did get this one on sale, so I think this was £58, I want to say. I definitely got my money's worth. I use this a lot. It's really good quality, you know, there's pretty much nothing wrong with it, and I used it every single day for like 2 years, I think. So, you know, really nice quality. They come in lots of really nice bright colours as well, and just nothing really bad to say about it. It's quite simple, you know, the functionality is there, and just a very nice piece from Smythson. And then the Kate Spade one, as I mentioned, I got for Christmas, and I just really like it. Obviously, it's not quite as highbrow as the Smythson one, so, you know, if you can't really have super fun sparkly pieces, then maybe check out Smythson, but I really like Kate Spade for their fun whimsical pieces, and this is definitely no exception. I like how it's coated plastic, so there's no glitter fallout, so it's really quite practical. And then on the flip side, you do have the rose gold, which I just think is so pretty, and there's my oyster card. So it's definitely very fun, and you know, I can fit my business cards in there as well, so it's practical as well, and it just kind of brightens up my daily commute. I really enjoy it, just for a little bit of whimsy. So on to Louis Vuitton next, and I have 6 pieces to share from this brand, and the first one I'm going to talk about is my Mini Pochette, and this came from last year's Evasion line, which was their Christmas animation / illustration line, which I think they do every year, and this was last year's. It's very pretty, very colourful and fun. It has this beautiful little pink tab, and the Mini Pochettes do come with this chain, which you can use as a wristlet, or alternatively you can unloop it and hook it onto your bag for security. So I like the design. I think it's very clever and very functional. And obviously this comes in the damier, so it's just plain on the back, and then it just zips open. It has a very nice kind of smooth zipper with the gold. And on the inside it is very plain. I do wish this had come with kind of a brightly coloured interior, but yeah, as it stands it's pretty plain and boring. This can fit quite a bit, so it's quite a useful size. I think you can fit tissues in here, or if you take medicine you could fit this in here, headphones, all that kind of stuff, in comparison to, for example, the Zippy coin purse. It is quite a bit bigger, so you know, you can fit quite a bit in there. I will say that if I was going to do it again, I probably wouldn't have gone for the Evasion line. Even though I do like it, it does kind of limit my usage. I would really like to use this as a kind of errand running wristlet if I was just going to nip to the shops instead of a wallet. I think it'd be very useful, but because the print is quite bold, I do find it kind of limits how much I use it, just because it kind of clashes and it's just very loud, whereas I think the monogram is a bit more classic, although some would argue it's quite loud as well. But I personally think it's very classic and it looks very chic. And so I think if I was going to do it again, I'd probably just go for the plain monogram. That said, I do really like the line and I'm glad I got it when I could. But yeah, it does limit my usage slightly. I did get another piece from the Evasion line, which I did haul on my channel, which was the Zippy coin purse, also with a very similar design. I did end up selling that just because I was doubling up, so I do have my other Zippy coin purse, which I'm going to discuss in a minute, and I didn't want to have two pieces, and I thought that one piece with this Evasion kind of design was enough, so I did decide to let that one go. No regrets, and I know the person I sold it to was very, very grateful, so that was good. But yeah, in terms of the mini pochette, I like it, I like the functionality. I also think it's pretty good value for money. I think these retail for about 210, but yeah, I think I probably would have gone for the classic monogram. So on to another limited edition piece, and this is the latest piece that I've added to my collection, and it is this beautiful cosmetic pouch in the kind of half moon style, and this is with the jungle / palm print in the pink. So it's quite bright and loud, but I really like it. I think it's a really fun piece, and it's just super pretty. You know, I love pink anyway, so pink on top of the monogram I think really works for me. And it just opens up. You do have a little bit of vachetta on each side, and then it just opens up with a bright pink lining. I have been using this pretty much every day and it's been working out really well. I've been pretty careful with what I put in it because I have a history of completely wrecking my makeup bags because I've always had quite cheap ones. So I have been very careful with what I've been putting in here. I have had a few marks here and there, but it's wiped pretty clean pretty easily, so I've been really pleased with it so far. And yeah, I really, really like this. I think it's the perfect size for a handbag. Obviously it can't fit tons, so I wouldn't use this as like a travel makeup bag, but for just every day, for kind of touch-ups, or if you're going from kind of work to an evening event, then this is just the perfect size. You know, I can fit pretty much a full face in here, you know, excluding foundation, that sort of thing. So I really like it. Obviously it's quite early days, but so far, yeah, totally in love with this piece. And then on to another piece which I bought very recently, and this is my key holder in the rose ballerine colour, and it just opens up like so, and you do have a little slot here which you can put cards in, and this is the 6 key holder, so it just has these 6 individual kind of key holders right there, and I have these completely filled, and I absolutely love this. You know, it's very plain on the back, so it just opens up with a button closure, and I mean, for a starter, I just love the pink. I think it's so gorgeous, but for me this has really surprised me as such a functional piece. You know, I never really considered getting a card holder before, sorry, a key holder, just because, you know, I managed perfectly fine with just my regular keys. It wasn't something that was super essential. Obviously I've lived without one for many, many years, but it's just a really nice piece to have. You know, it makes finding my keys very easy. You know, this isn't something that I'm going to readily lose. I can spot it easily in the bottom of my bag or in the house, so it's very useful. But it also, I like that it just keeps my keys very neat. You know, I know where each one is, so I have some for my mum's place, and then I have my keys right here. This is the fob I use most of the time to get in and out of my building, and it's just very easily accessible, you know, so it's very easy, just kind of tap in and out. And I just really, really like it. So, you know, I've not had any problems with kind of fitting them in. As I said, I've used all 6 of them, and I do sometimes have to kind of jiggle them about because obviously I have quite bulky fobs. I'm not sure how this would work with car keys. Obviously I don't have any car keys in here, so but for me this is completely perfect. You know, it fits really neatly, it's not stretched out at all, and I just love it. I just think it makes locking doors just that little bit more glamorous, and yeah, I've really been enjoying it, so can't recommend this highly enough. If this is something that you haven't really considered but you're a little bit intrigued about, I would recommend going in store and seeing it, and especially in kind of bright colours or bright interiors, I think it just makes the loveliest piece. So onto wallets next, and I have 3 wallets to share with you. So the first one is the smallest one, which is the Zippy coin purse, and this is in the empreinte leather, and this is in the colour Dahlia, which I think has been discontinued now, but Louis Vuitton are always releasing gorgeous new colours, so I'm sure there are lots of pretty ones out at the moment too. And it is just kind of one piece of leather that follows all the way through, opens up like so, and it does have this kind of long zip pull. And the insides just look like so. So you have a lot of card slots. This is a pretty card slot heavy little purse or wallet. So you have 6 altogether, so 3 on each side, and then you also have an extra one right there, so 7 altogether. So you know, there's a lot of room for your different cards. I would say that this isn't one for you if you use a lot of cash, particularly in the US, because you guys have dollars. For the UK, we obviously have pounds, so you know, it's a lot more suited, I think, for those who don't use lots of cash. When I was visiting in the US, I was just getting a lot of dollars, and it just filled it up very, very quickly and made it quite difficult to close. But if you're not someone that uses cash, or if you live in a country that doesn't use like a lot of actual paper money, then that's absolutely fine, I think. I really like it because this fits in pretty much all of my smaller bags. So, you know, from my square Chanel mini to my rectangle one to my Alma BB, you know, it really does do the job for pretty much all of them. I can't really think of any small bags that this wouldn't fit into, and it's just a very kind of compact size which still fits everything that you need it to, which is why I really like it. I think it's just such a great piece. I think this costs around about $345. The canvas one is quite a bit cheaper, so I think it's about £100 cheaper, so that's a really good option as well. I wanted to go for the empreinte. I don't have anything empreinte in my collection, so this is my first piece, and I think it's just very luxurious. You know, I like the leather, I like the pop of colour, and I just think it's very durable as well. I use this quite a bit, and you know, I just can't see any wear on it whatsoever. And that's not to say that the canvas isn't, because it is. The canvas is very, very durable as well, but I just wanted a little bit more luxury, and this just completely fit the bill. So I really like this. I think it's quite spacious, it can fit a lot, but at the same time it doesn't, you know, completely fill up your small bag, so it is very, very compact. So I totally love this. If you're in the market for a small wallet, then definitely check this one out. So on to my 2 last wallets now, and these are both long wallets. So the first one is the Insolite wallet, and this is quite a big wallet. So for comparison, the other wallet is a Emilie wallet, and it's a big wallet. So the Emilie wallet isn't a particularly small wallet, but as you can see, the Insolite wallet just kind of dwarfs it. So this is a very, very large wallet. It's probably the largest wallet I've ever owned, but at the same time, it's really functional. I really love it. So this is from the Locks and Trunks collection, which I think was released maybe 3 years ago or something like that, and I use this wallet pretty much every day for I want to say like 2 years, so it's gotten a lot of use. I still think it looks great. There is some wear on the illustration, but because of the colour, it doesn't really matter too much. I don't think. It kind of blends in, so I really love the design. I completely fell in love with it. And then you open it up, it's just plain on the back. You open it up and it does have this lovely interior, and so I really like this wallet. It does have a ton of card slots, so there are 3 on either side, and plus this extra kind of weird pocket here. So 6 here, an extra 6 there. You can fit more cards in there, and likewise for the other way. And then you also have a zip pocket here, which fits a lot, and then you also have a zip pocket there. So there is a ton of storage. It's really a massive wallet. I think this is the perfect wallet for traveling. I really like to use it for traveling. You can actually fit your passport, or at least the British passport, on here, which is really convenient. And what I like to use it for is I like to transfer my British currency, which I usually hold in here, to this pocket, and then I like to use my foreign currency in here for easy access. And because when you have it button closed, there is no need to kind of unbutton it to get to your cash, so you can kind of have it unzipped and still buttoned, which I really like. I think it's a really good feature. So I really like this for travel. I don't use it that much now, just because I just sometimes feel like it's too big, and I feel the need to kind of fill all the pockets. I just carry so much with me, and I carry rewards cards with me that I haven't used in like 5 years, and that's just not necessary. So it can get quite heavy just because of the sheer number of things I carry in here. but at the same time, if you're someone that uses just a lot of things, you need a lot of storage, this is a really good option. I will say that it is pricey. I think this is around the £600 mark. I forget exactly how much. It was the most I'd ever spent on a wallet, and still is actually. So it's not a cheap investment, but at the same time, I got so much use out of mine, and I think it looks really good. You know, it's held up beautifully, and I still happily use this today. So if you're looking for kind of a proper investment wallet, then this is definitely one to check out. So on to the very last wallet now, and it is the Emilie wallet, which is the newest wallet that I've bought, and I really like this wallet. You know, it's quite simple in design, so it just has this kind of rounded envelope closure, and it's plain on the back. Opens up with a button, and it has the rose ballerine lining, which I love. I love this colour, and I just find that the structure is very, very well designed, I think. So I have the 4 card slots here. Obviously this is the one I'm using, so it's full of stuff. I have a coin section right there, and then I have a bigger section there which I use to hold all my cash, and then 2 sections, and the way I split this is I put, well, at the moment there are train cards in there, but usually there are my most frequently used rewards cards, and then in the back pocket I put my lesser used rewards cards. And for me, this is just the most perfectly designed wallet. You know, I love the fact there are 4 card slots there. You know, I have 4 bank cards, those are the ones I use, so very easy to access. You know, I like the fact there's a bigger section for cash or receipts, and then you have the 2 compartments there with the coin section as well. So I love this. I think it is the perfect long wallet for me and my lifestyle, at least. I will say that the zip pull can get a little bit bent out of shape if you leave it out like that, so I always try and tuck it in, so that's something to keep in mind. I will, however, say that it is quite a bit flimsier than the Insolite wallet. So I guess because I had this for so long and used it for so long, when I first got this, I was really struck by how flimsy and light it felt. It is a little bit better now that I filled it with things, but at the same time, it's quite clear that there is a quality difference. So this comes in at $275, I think, and this is obviously over $600, so there's a massive price difference, and I think you can feel that. But for me, I really like the Emilie wallet still, just because I love the functionality and the layout and the structure. So it doesn't bother me because those other aspects win me over, but that is something to consider if you do have other wallets like the Insolite. So I do like it, but beware, it is a bit flimsy, and I do think you kind of get what you pay for there. You know, obviously there's quite a big price difference, so one to keep in mind. I do still really like it though, and I would recommend it to someone just because I think it's very cleverly designed, and I just really like the layout. So that's it for this SLG collection video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of the items, then leave them for me in the comments section and I will get back to you. And as I mentioned, I will leave as much information as I can in the description section below. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. I would love to have you here. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.